Hey y'all, Ibrick Guy here. Welcome back to another Timepieces for Tomorrow video. And within this video, I want to ask the question, was the Rolex shortage created to promote the Tudor brand? And again, these are my opinions, so I want you to comment down below and tell me what you think. So, was the Rolex shortage, was it artificially created? And was it artificially created to promote the Tudor brand? Now on my wrist, I have the Tudor Black Bay Chrono, the Tudor Black Bay Chrono Inverted Panda, or Tudor Black Bay Chrono Reverse Panda. It's the 41 millimeter timepiece, has a black primary dial and whitish, silverish subdials. So Tudor is great. Now Tudor and Rolex are both owned, if you didn't know this, they're both owned by the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation. So that foundation owns both Tudor and Rolex. And Hans Wilsdorf, and not to misquote him, but essentially what he implied, and again, this is not a quote, but he created Tudor to be a more price accessible Rolex, meaning that it's a poor man's Rolex. I mean, that's the translation of it. But today, Tudor today is not that. Tudor today is a proper timepiece. It features current technology. It's accessible. You can go into a Rolex authorized dealer or Rolex boutique that sells Tudor, and you can find them readily available within the cases. Now, there are certain examples like the Tudor Black Bay Chrono and also the Black Bay 58 that are often hard to find, often command a wait list of a few weeks or a few months. So, there are exceptions. But back to the question, the primary question asked, and that is this Rolex shortage, is it artificially created just to promote the Tudor brand? Now, I've got opinions that could steer this assumption both ways, and that's why I want y'all to comment below. But I think what's driven up what's created the Rolex shortage is that Rolex, they refuse to sacrifice quality to ramp up production. And what's happened is that a lot of people have realized, and again, I'm not an investor or a flipper, but a lot of people have realized because of the annual increases, and Rolex doesn't increase every year, but most years they do increase their various wristwatch references and price. So people have realized that if they're lucky enough to acquire a certain Rolex, that within a few years, even in used condition, it would likely be more valuable than it was at the original purchase price. Again, assuming they purchased it at MSRP at an authorized Rolex dealer or a Rolex boutique. So people have realized that. So it's created a flood of demand for people to go in and invest in Rolex timepieces. And the product of that investing has limited the quantity of Rolex watches that are available within the Rolex authorized dealers and the Rolex boutiques. So that has led to the rapid popularity increase, the rapid just visual improvement of Tudor. So, Tudor, again, Rolex's sister brand, they're in most all of the Rolex authorized dealers and most all of the Rolex boutiques, if not all of them. Now, some of the authorized dealers may not have both, but I think the Rolex boutiques, I think they probably have both brands now. But so if you go into an AD, authorized dealer, or a boutique, you're going to probably find Tudors. The Rolex is probably going to be very slim pickings, if any are available at all. So it's it would appear that, well, we're going to make the brand, they're marketing, Rolex is marketing. They've created the brand image that they're the best wristwatch in the world for somebody that's a wristwatch collector or someone that just wants a wristwatch for pure status purposes. So they've created that they've instilled within the minds of most people, even non-wristwatch people, that Rolex is the best watch in the world. It's a great wristwatch, don't get me wrong. But there's a lot of other wristwatch brands out there, and subscribe and check out all my Timepieces for Tomorrow videos and explore the various brands. But yeah, Rolex makes a great watch, but they're not the only brand. So is this shortage, was it artificially created? I don't think it was artificially created. My personal opinion is that it's just driven by, people want to invest. People see the opportunity. Well, if a brand increases the MSRP of something, then, in theory, if they continue to do that, then they're holding a potentially appreciating asset. So, that's brought the investor on board. And, it's destroyed Rolex watches for collectors. I mean, collectors now, they're having, the people that are serious collectors, which I'm not, they're purchasing at gray market prices, which are well over retail. I would never buy any wristwatch that wasn't discounted below MSRP. The market conditions have changed. Used to, you could go in to an authorized dealer or a boutique, you could negotiate a discount. And on the gray market in the past, you could get an even deeper discount. But it's different now. But it has brought a lot of attention to the Tudor brand, and I think it's not just again, I don't think this was intentional. I don't think this was an artificially created Rolex wristwatch shortage. I think this happened because of the market conditions, people seeing the investment opportunity, but I think that Hans Wilsdorf Foundation, I mean, obviously they're aware of this. It probably jump-started them into really increasing the quality of the Tudor brand. I mean, now you're getting Tudor since Hans Wilsdorf Foundation released Black Bay many years ago. You're getting Tudor references like this Tudor Black Bay Chrono, the Tudor Black Bay 58, that are phenomenal timepieces. They look old school, they look vintage, but they possess current technology. So you're getting something that looks like an old school wristwatch because of the aluminum bezel insert, the domed sapphire crystal, the faux rivets in the bracelet, and a lot of other stuff. You're getting something that looks like a vintage Rolex, but it has current technology. And obviously, I'm sure they probably share technology between the two brands. They would argue differently, but I'm pretty sure they probably do. So, now it's put Tudor on the map, and Rolex realizes that, and they're probably thinking, well, since we can't, obviously they're not going to sacrifice quality, and that's admirable that, that they refuse to do that. But by not sacrificing quality, they're left with boutiques and authorized dealers that have next to no stock of Rolex. So it really makes sense that they really amplify the quality of the Tudor brand, and that's what they've done. I mean, Tudor now is better, in my opinion, much better than a true vintage Rolex. I mean, you're getting current technology. I mean, this is years of watchmaking since the original Rolexes were released. So you're getting current technology in a design that has that old school look. And I think Hans Wilsdorf Foundation has realized that. And as a product of that, what we're seeing now are Tudor wristwatches that are desirable. Tudor wristwatches that people want to purchase. I mean, look back prior to Black Bay and tell me, would you want to purchase a Tudor wristwatch then? And you're probably going to say no, because a lot of them were not desirable. They did have a few desirable references, but a lot of them, and I don't mean this, I don't sugarcoat anything on this channel. A lot of those references prior to Black Bay from Tudor were pure junk. I mean, there's some of them that, people like, our pontiff, Archibald, Chesterfield III, he would have even chosen a Squally over some of those older Tudors. And that's saying a lot. So, it's, I don't think the Rolex shortage is artificial, but I do think that it is, without a doubt, caused Hans Wilsdorf Foundation to realize the opportunity. That opportunity being to improve the Tudor brand image, the opportunity to improve the aesthetic of the Tudor launches. I mean, Black Bay Chrono is awesome. They've done an awesome job with that. Black Bay 58, they've done an awesome job. They need to bring us a Black Bay 58 GMT. They need to start releasing some references that have ceramic bezels beyond the Pelagos. And, they're on that path. And I think, again, I think that Hans Wilsdorf Foundation realizes all of this, and they're here to make things happen. I mean, ultimately, they're about making money. They're about making quality wristwatches, but ultimately, it's all about the bottom line, which is how much money are they making from this venture. So if you can have two brands that are both highly desirable, I mean, Tudor's already, look at Tudor prior to Black Bay. Tudor was kind of an unheard of brand, and if people knew about it, if they were in the wristwatch collecting community, they were like, oh, that's just a poor man's Rolex. There was nothing that would steer people towards Tudor in the past, and now there is. And that's where Tudor now is positioned to. I mean, it's here to trump brands like Omega. It's here to trump brands like Breitling. I don't think that we will. I mean, obviously, we will never see Tudor surpass Rolex, because the Rolex is the crown and Tudor is the shield. We're never going to see that. But what we will see, we're going to see Tudor surpass a lot of the other similarly positioned brands like the Breitling, Omega. Obviously, it's already tier above Longines. Longines is coming up. They're coming up with some pretty good references, but they're definitely above Tag Heuer, Movado, brands like Hublot. I mean, Tudor is way above all of that, in my opinion. Comment below, tell me what you think. But yeah, I don't think that the Rolex shortage is artificial, but those were my opinions. So tell me your opinions. Subscribe. Ring that bell icon when you do to be notified whenever I post another video, and comment below and tell me what you think. Oh, and if you've got a wristwatch collection or just a wristwatch that you would like for me to review within an upcoming Timepieces for Tomorrow video, send me an email, review@timepiecesfortomorrow.com. And check out all my merch. I got t-shirts, sweatshirts, coffee mugs, pint glasses, stickers, and more. You can find it all down below. Thanks for your support, and y'all have a good day. Thanks again for watching this video, and want to remind everyone, be sure to subscribe and ring that bell icon when you do to be notified whenever I post another video. And if you've got a wristwatch or a wristwatch collection that you'd like for me to try to review within an upcoming video, send me an email, review@timepiecesfortomorrow.com. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.